Hello viewers, now I know what you all are thinking. I haven't posted a video in over 2 weeks, so as far as the internet is concerned, I don't exist. Well, guess what? I do exist, and I'm about to make a video. So, where have I been? I've been learning Fusion. Words are hard. Okay, so today we're going to be making a title in Fusion. Now, this is going to be pretty simple, but I'm going to try to give you a very solid, foundational understanding of nodes in Fusion, especially if you're coming from After Effects, just basically how to work in this new system. So Fusion is basically like After Effects. So if we're here in Fusion, I have this random stock footage, which is beautiful with rhinos and a man, and we've got Fusion. So drag your timeline over your clip and open up Fusion here. So let me close this tab. That probably won't be open for you. Okay, so here in Fusion, you're going to see a lot of different things. Now, you'll see here is our node editor. We have our inspector over here, which we can open and close. We have two inputs here, and we have various things over here, like our effects library or media pool or whatever. So basically, if you're coming from After Effects, you're working with layers. And basically, you're going to have one base layer that you're starting with. And you're going to stack things on top of that, and whatever layer is on top of the previous layer is going to override the layer underneath it. So for example, if you have a text layer, you're going to put that over your video layer. That way, the text will show on top of the video layer. Now, how does this translate into nodes for people that have never used nodes like these before? Basically, here's our starting video. This is our media right here. You can see our video. Now, when we're editing this stuff, it flows until it reaches the out point. Now, this is the final image. This is the final video and product that's going to end up right here in our timeline. Okay, so what happens is you're going to start here, and these arrows are going to flow to other nodes. And as they flow into other nodes, those nodes are going to modify this video and add special effects to it. And basically, you'll have one node come up, and it will apply, and then it will have that new video with that new special effect applied, and it will flow onto the next node. And that node will apply another effect. And that's how it starts layering. And that's how, if you want to layer and stack things in the right order, that's how you layer them. All right? So that is the very basics of node working and working with visual scripts. Now let's get started. Now, as with any complicated program, there's about 300 ways to do the exact same thing. Now right up here, these are the most commonly used nodes, all right? So if I want to go up here and click a text layer, you'll see it will come up. If I have nothing selected, it will just show up here. I can also come over here into the effects library right here, and I can go under Open VFX or FX, and it will give me all of the different nodes that I can use here. Now, the way I like to do it the best, if you know what you're looking for, you can press Shift and Spacebar at the same time, tap them together, and it'll bring up a search box. And what you can do is type in whatever node you're looking for. Now, let me see, I'm going to close this real quick. Now, what we want to do is we want to take this text layer, and we want to put it on top of the media in. Now, you might want to just take this and drag it straight in, which that's not really what we want to do, actually. This is not what you would think it's going to do. What we want to do is put this on top of the media. So we need a merge node. A merge node will take two different inputs and merge them together. So we have a text input and a media input. And we want to put the text over the media. So if I press Shift Spacebar and type in merge and press enter, here's my merge node. So if I just drag this into the line right here, if I hold shift and drag it into the line here, it's gonna add it into this stream here, holding shift, dragging it in. Now with this merge mode, now with this merge node, if I drag the text output into the merge, now the text is going to be on top of it, all right? Now, this green triangle basically is the foreground of the merge node. Whatever is into that green triangle is going to be put on top of the input that's going into here. So it's going to be put on top of the yellow triangle, all right? So that's what the green triangles are. They're foregrounds, okay? And the yellow triangles and lines are pretty much just pure inputs and outputs, all right? Okay, so just as a review, we have our video right here. It's going into a merge node, where the merge node is putting this text layer on top of it, and then it's going to our final output, all right? Now, of course, we're not seeing anything. That's because we don't have any text created. All right, so now's a good time to show you how these two inputs work here. So basically, these screens don't react to what you click on. Rather, if you click on a node and you press 1 or 2, if I press 1 with this node selected, it's going to show up in the viewer number 1. If I press 2, it's going to show up or be removed from viewer 2. So you can use these screens however you want to. I can click on my text and press 1, and now it shows up on viewer 1. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and type in sub to PewDiePie. JK, sub to me. Okay, so now you should be seeing this text layer showing up on your video. So let's go ahead and stylize this text. So now once you have this node created, you can do a lot of things in the inspector window here. You can open and close that here. So if I go ahead and go over here, you can change the font, change a ton of things. So I'm going to maybe go up here. Let's see, what font do I want? That looks pretty good. All right. Then I think I'll keep everything else the same. You can animate things. We'll get into that in a moment. But basically, if you go over to this tab in the text, you can add different shading elements. So element number 1 is simply the outline. If I come here and click element number 2, you can enable it. And now we can add a new kind of sort of style to the text. All right, so as you can see right now, it's preset to a red outline here, which we don't really want. What I want to do, I'm going to make this solid. All right, and then I'm going to come here and I'm going to change the level to line. That way it highlights the entire line, not each character. And then let's change the color of it to a little gradient. So I'm going to give the bottom a little purple, and then I'm going to click on the top here, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a red, and I'm going to move the red down a little bit. That looks kind of nice. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a rounded edge, and then I'm going to extend it vertically just a little bit. All right, and just like that, we've made a pretty nice little text layer here. So now what do I want to do next here? I want to animate this so it comes out from behind this guy's back. So to do this, I'm going to need to make a mask. So I'm going to make the mask on the merge node here, because that's what I want to mask out. I want to mask out this person so the text can come out from behind him. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on a polygon mask. All right. And as you can see, if I have my merge selected, it's going to automatically pair them. So I'm going to zoom in here. I can hold control and zoom in. And then I'm going to draw a really rough outline here, which I don't need to do too badly. Right there. Hold control, zoom down. You can just scroll up and down to zoom around. If that made any sense. All right, and then I'm going to make a mask like this. Whoops. I messed up now. There we go. All right. Now, as you can see, it's hiding the wrong part of him. So I'm going to click on my polygon mask here, and I'm going to click invert. All right, and now you can see with my text layer here that it is hiding the text behind this guy. All right, so now what do I want to do? I want to animate it. So to animate these things, it's always good to add a transform, because you can move, sometimes you can move the actual nodes or the location of them, but I like to type in, or actually you can just drag it, press this button, and add a transform to your text. So what's going on here is the transform is basically just going to be something, a node that moves another node. So if I want to move this title around, now with this transform, I can move it around like that, okay? So let's click on our transform, and let's move our timeline to the front to the very front of our clip, all right? And let's set a keyframe here. Now with this keyframe selected, I'm going to move this text layer behind this guy's back. All right, and we'll move it down a little bit, and that should be good. Now, let's go about 20 frames in, and let's move it back outside. And as you can see, it's made another keyframe. So there we go. Now we have an animation. So let me go ahead and play it, and you can see there's a nice animation. It comes out from behind his back, and everything looks pretty good. All right. Now, let's just review what's going on here. We have our base image here, all right? It goes into our merge node. The merge node takes this text, and the text is animated through this transform node, because that's what a transform is, and all of that flows down into our merge node, and that creates the final image. And then this polygon cuts out part of the image, that way it hides behind this guy's back, all right? So, and then from there, the merge node flows into the out, all right? And if we go over here, we can see it plays perfectly in our timeline. It's not perfect. We can probably feather the shadow a little bit, but everything looks good. I'll come over here, soften the edge just a tad, and hopefully that'll make things a little better. But one final thing that I want to show you is keyframes. So as you can see, our transform is here, and maybe we want to smooth out our keyframes, ease it in, or smooth out our curves here. So if I press that, it's very harsh, very static, and it has no curve to our keyframes or to our animation in it. So click on the keyframe editor, all right, and click on our transform. And if we go under our transform and expand that, you can see, if you hold control, zoom in, you can see our two keyframes right here. So if I click on this keyframe, right click it, and change that to smooth. Now if I watch it, you can see it's a lot smoother and a nicer animation, all right? And that is a nice introduction to Fusion.